I am not me, I am Paul Hostovsky. Confessional poem. People say they love my honesty, but honestly, I'm a liar and a thief. I would steal your mother and help you look for her. What was she wearing? Large breasts or small? Truly, I have a prurient bent, sometimes inclined toward pure prurience, but at least I'm honest about it. I'm up front in the adult movie theater. I'm in the first row, where there's nothing between me and these fine actors, some of whom are really very fine. I mean, they're so convincing. I believe they are in love. I believe I'm in love. I mean, that's how good they are. But me, I'm not a good person. I would pocket your 20 if I found it on the floor of your car. I would borrow your car without asking you. I would steal your line and put it in my poem without crediting you. I would sleep with your mother if she were good looking enough and willing. Honestly, I'm not an honest person, and this poem is not an honest poem. It expresses feelings and beliefs that I have never felt or entertained. It's a sad day when someone like you lets someone like me get away with something like this. What were you thinking? All right, that's the first one. Conversations of Men. My girlfriend says she would like to be a fly on the wall between two urinals. What would she overhear? She asked me. I told her the last time a man spoke to me above a urinal, I think he said, "How about them Bruins?" And what did you say in return? She wants to know. I say, I don't know what to say because I don't know anything about hockey. I didn't watch the game or even know there was one. I didn't want him to know that. So I said, "God damn," because it sounded heartfelt, not non-committal, because he may or may not have been a Bruins fan, because the Bruins may or may not have won, because he was trying to make contact with his gender. And if I hadn't seen the game, if I said I hadn't seen the game, or if I said I didn't follow hockey or didn't give a shit about the Bruins, he would probably feel like he hadn't made contact, and I would feel less of a man. So I said, "God damn," and he said, "Unbelievable." And he shook his head and approved. Or maybe it's disapproval. It's hard to tell. But this is what I tell her, because the whole thing was more or less peripheral. The names. I want to say something about the names. Ahmed, Fouad, Tarek, Tufik, that are in the news these days. Youssef, Anwar, Umar, Ismail. And the way the newscasters have had to practice pronouncing them. Abdul, Ammar, Abu, Mukhtar al-Sar. Don't you just love saying Mukhtar al-Sar? If you lined up all the names and just said them one after the other, it would look like you were fluent. It would sound like you were fluent in Arabic. You would pull one over on your friends down at the pub, lubricate your tongue with a few beers, turn to Jeff or Bill or Steve and say, "Mukhtar al-Sadr, Ahmed Fouad Abdul, Abu al-Mar, Umar Mohammed," and just wait for reaction. Chances are a painful silence would swallow the pub bowl, because everyone would think you had been praying or reciting a poem or a fatwa, when in fact all you were doing was saying the names, just lining them up, and one by one firing off those frighteningly beautiful names. That's all, Paul. Thanks. Hostovsky, dermatologist. His last one. I think it was in the 4th grade when I first learned the word epidermis. I went up to each of my friends in turn and said, "Your epidermis is showing." And each looked down to see if his fly was open because epidermis and penis have the same happy ending. I knew back then already that knowing more than others about the largest organ in the human body puts you at an advantage. The functions of the skin, as say my date years later in medical school as we sat in my car outside the movie theater, include absorption, excretion, insulation, synthesis of vitamin D, and sensation. And then I demonstrate this last function by touching her lightly on the arm and then the cheek. Do you follow, love? And if she said yes, on the breast. And if she said no, I tell her about the 50 million bacteria living on the surface of each square inch of human skin, which no amount of cleaning can remove. Then I'd smile a little sadly, put the car in drive, and tell her that the moist and dry skin, ecologically speaking, are as different as rainforests and deserts, and without elaborating, drive her back through the world to her dormitory. Thank you.